Let's bring in Raging Kajan Johnson. How's it going, man?
Great, bro. Great. Killing it out here.
Okay, man. So you're all set for this September in Japan?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's going to be a good time, that one.
Just talk to me about getting the fight in Japan and what you think the whole experience of going to Japan will be like.
Well, I've wanted to fight in Japan since, like, the old Pride days, you know? Like, I always wanted to fight in front of the Japanese crowd. They're very, very respectful. They're very knowledgeable about what's going on in the cage. They're not booing you because of lack of action. They're applauding for guard passes. They're applauding for submission attempts. Like, they actually understand the sport a lot more than what I've seen with the North American-based fans. So I'm really, really excited to get this fight. I asked for it right after Manila. I asked to fight in Japan, and somebody up there likes me because they gave it to me. I'm stoked.
Nice, nice. So, do you like traveling around, going to different markets?
Well, regardless, I have to travel. You know, if I was to fight in Saskatoon, like there's still travel involved in that. So if I'm going to
Sure.
be traveling, I might as well go to Japan instead of Saskatoon. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Like, I don't know. I've been fighting in Canada for a long time. Like over 13 years now, I've been fighting in Canada. So I've kind of been there, done that, and I'm looking for new experiences, things that actually excite me. And going to a place like Tokyo to fight, that's exciting.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, since we're talking Japan, big news: Fedor's coming back. What'd you think of that?
For
Yeah,
real?
yeah. Apparently,
Where's he gonna fight?
he hasn't announced that yet, but pretty sure it's not going to be the UFC.
Um, I hope it's UFC because
Yeah,
he deserves some shine, this guy.
yeah,
But yeah, that's amazing. That's so wicked, dude. Like, um, we have very different body styles, me and Fedor, but there are pieces of his game that I feel that he's the best in the world at, and I've definitely taken those pieces and adapted them to my style. He's amazing. He's one of the best ever to have ever done it ever.
Okay, man. So back to your fight. Just talk about the matchup and what you'll need to do to get the win.
Well, from what I'm seeing of this guy, his game seems a little old, to tell you the truth. He's a grappler. He's short, um, just below average height, but he's way below average reach. Like his reach on, I don't know, maybe they got it wrong because they do that sometimes on UFC, but his reach is like 66 and a half, dude. I've got like a 75 and a half inch reach.
Wow.
Like, that's a 9-inch reach advantage, dude. Like,
Yeah,
plus,
that's big.
my footwork is on a whole nother level than a lot of these guys in the game right now. My knowledge of martial arts and the evolution of martial arts, I believe, is at the cutting edge. Where a lot of these guys are still stuck in 2010, 2008. In my opinion, this guy's game hasn't really evolved since 2007, 2005 to 2007. Like that's where this style that he fights with, that's where it applies. It does not have any place in 2015, and I believe that you're going to see that when you see us fight on September 27th. He's a great martial artist. He's done a lot in his career. I have a lot of respect for him, but I just believe that I am better. I am a more evolved version, and I will emerge victorious because of my knowledge.
This past weekend in Vegas, UFC 189 went down. Um, what'd you think of the Reebok Kits, the new sponsorship deal?
I like aspects of it. I dislike other aspects. I really like that we we're starting to attract large corporate sponsors because that will eventually mean big money for all the athletes. Right now, the money isn't huge, but if it's a means to an end, I can deal with it. One thing I would like to see a little bit more of is a little bit more um, individuality in the Reebok kits. I like that there is an overall uniform that everybody looks somewhat similar. Like it's not completely left wing. Like one guy's wearing one type of shorts, the other guy's wearing completely different type of shorts. I like that there's kind of a uniform look, but I would like to be able, for me anyway, to customize it so it reflects my personality a bit more. I think because we're going to be making money off these sales as well, right? We're making,
Right.
I forget what the percentage is of the sales of our specific kits, and my fans will be much more ready to buy it and much more eager to buy it if the kit reflects my personality and has a little bit of me in it. Like right now,
Sure.
like it just says Kajan Johnson,
Right.
which is cool. Maybe if it said Raging on it. I also asked to get the Mohawk Warrior flag instead of the Canadian flag, and that didn't happen. So I would like to be able to personalize it a little bit more, so it was a little bit more of me in there, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so speaking of UFC 189, we had Robbie Lawler versus Rory MacDonald. What was your reaction to that fight?
Uh, Emotional roller coaster, dude.
Right.
Off the bat, I was happy with the way Rory was dealing with Robbie's right hook, because Robbie has a devastating right hook. He's not like regular southpaws where his left hand is what you got to really worry about. Robbie's a very interesting opponent because he's a southpaw that has a really savage right hook. It's almost like he was right-handed and converted to southpaw. And with the amount of power that he has, it was really cool to see Rory be able to, for the most part, nullify his weapons in the first round. As the fight progressed, he started taking a little bit more damage. I would have liked to see a little bit higher variety and a little bit more movement and footwork off of Rory. But, again, I'm not in there, and I'm not feeling what he's feeling. So judging from the outside, it's very difficult unless you're actually in there and feeling what's happening. Maybe he just didn't feel like he could move. Maybe he got stunned by a couple hard shots and kind of frozen, because I know that's happened to me before. But regardless, I think what's really, really cool about that fight is the fact that Rory is he's a very, very introverted person. So a lot of people have never really seen who he is. And because he's so skillful, you don't really see who he is all that much when he fights either, because you only really get to show who you are and what you're made of when you're put in very, very difficult situations. And I think in this fight, the world has finally seen Rory MacDonald's heart,
Right.
and now they're able to love him for it.
Yeah, man, he's posted some pretty gruesome pics too.
Yeah, well, that's what a lot of people don't understand, but that is one of the realities of mixed martial arts. If you do this sport for long enough, eventually something will happen to you. Eventually.
Right.
You're going to get put in a bad situation at some point, and you're going to take the loss that is not just a technical loss. You're going to get beaten. And that's something a lot of people kind of have never experienced. There's a lot of athletes that I work with, that I train with, that have never really experienced that. And that's what really shows if you want this or not, if you're willing to live this life, is whether or not you're able to come back from something like that.
The commissions have made some changes recently coming up this fall. There's not going to be any more IVs after cutting weight. What'd you think of this?
It's okay. For me, it doesn't make too much of a difference because I don't cut a huge amount of weight. I'm one of the smaller lightweights, so it might actually benefit me in that it will kind of clear out my division of the guys that are cutting a great deal.
Right.
But I feel bad for these guys that have to cut this amount of weight because they're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. They're, say, walking around at 185 to 190 pounds with a little bit of fat on them, you know. So they're a bit too heavy to make 155 and not IV, but they're too light to fight guys that are coming down from 200 pounds in shape to fight at 170, right? So we need more weight divisions. If you want to cut out IVs, I'm all for it, but give me a weight class at 162.5 pounds and give me a weight class at 177.5 pounds. And then these guys that are kind of stuck in the middle of these two weight divisions or three weight divisions will still be able to compete at a weight that is healthy for them without killing themselves.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Okay, man, give us a prediction on your fight. How does it finish?
Uh, well, there's a number of ways that I can see me finishing the guy. He likes to attack legs, from what I see, and I love leg locks. So
Right.
if he attacks my legs, I could finish him with a counter leg lock. Um, I'm probably not going to go and attack his legs because that's his strength. Um, so I could see it finishing with a knockout via some form of head kick, maybe spinning hook kick, maybe step side kick, maybe roundhouse kick, maybe I've been working on this new move actually, this new kick that I've never seen anybody do before, and it's called a front back kick. So maybe I'll knock him out with that. You never know.
Any sponsors you want to promote or promote your social media?
Yeah, well, first people I have to shout out, they're like my little ace in the hole out here in Montreal, is the K2 room, it's altitude room, and so I've been training week after week I'm training at 10,000 feet, dude, so I may be fighting at sea level, but I'm training in the mountains, even though I'm not,
Right.
so that's really gave me a lot of benefits, the K2 room, and also Premier Performance. They've really completely changed the way I look at conditioning and reconditioning my body in order to eliminate injuries, eliminate muscle imbalances. I shout out my number one team, obviously, TriStar Gym, my home, and my social media. You can find everything pretty much on my website, www.raginmma.com. Also, my Twitter is I am Ragin, and my Instagram is the Ragin1, THARAGIN, and the number 1. And then my Facebook fan page is Ragin Kajan Johnson. So you can find me all over the place. Check me out. There's going to be a lot of posts and updates before this fight.
Good stuff. Thanks for doing it.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure.